Kevin Hart is hanging out with Grant Cardone at what's called the Canadian Wealth Summit. This is on the decal of somebody's car, and they're selling a bunch of basically tickets. Kevin Hart has gotten into the mastermind game.
Yeah, I mean, well, they banned him from the Oscars. Can he make money, guys? He has a family to feed. Okay, Kevin Hart has a family to feed. Can he make some money and just go to he already got banned from Oscars.
I kind of feel bad because he did get banned from the Oscars. That's true. Good point. But I think so. We're going to get to this later, but it's like the OnlyFans thing where all these people who are like not actually sex workers are now going to OnlyFans. So all these people who are not gurus have seen the money in the guru game and they go, hey, I want a piece of that. But they have nothing. They know nothing about biz. They don't even know how to sell. And so they go tie themselves to the biggest guru in town. And then they like make it like a celebrity guru deal. So this is like Grant Cardone brings the sales tactics. And then Kevin Hart brings the celeb. Have you seen how much this costs though? I mean, dude, come on, dude. Kevin Harrington, Shark Tank. These Shark Tank guys can't get enough of it. Okay, look, let's start from the bottom, dude, because I know you guys in chat probably are going to be... No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Theo Vaughn opened for some marketing people too. So they basically told Kevin Hart, like, it's opening for us, but if you say, hey, buy the course, then you get a cut of this. So he's probably just... Because Kevin Hart is the kind of hardworking guy that'll just do anything. If it's paid, like, he's just like...
Oh,
yeah,
of course he's getting paid. Dude, he's getting paid a ton of money. Kickback. A lot of these guys, they get a... if they're a big enough name, they'll get a cut on every course sold at the event. Because they're such a big draw. So imagine you're Kevin Hart and Grant Cardone goes, hey, you'll get 10% of every ticket sold and every payment. I mean,
he just did Jumanji.
You
Jumanji
could make $1 million. You could make $1 million in one seminar. Think about that.
He got paid $5 million for Jumanji. Okay, enough of this. I take it back. I don't care if he got canceled from the Oscars. He's doing Jumanji.
He's fine. Dude, Kevin Hart hasn't been canceled. He's doing fine. And what he's doing is selling a bunch of whack tickets. Dude, look at this. Executive balcony, okay, $78. That's not the worst.
So what you guys have to remember is the personality that gets you to be Kevin Hart is what keeps you going when you made $5 million doing Jumanji, right? You can't have it both ways. Like the guy that can reach that level of success had to have the drive, had to have the perseverance. And so there is no, the money's not, they're not after the money. They're after the game.
Right. Yeah. They are. They're after like winning the game, but the game doesn't actually, it's not, nobody's, okay, somebody told me about this because I wasn't the type to think about the game. And they're like, oh yeah, Steven, it's all a game. I'm like, what do you mean it's a game? And they're like, yeah, it's like kind of an internal scorecard everyone's keeping for like who's the most successful. And I was like, really? No one's ever told me that. They go, no one ever talks about it. We just kind of have this game going on. And I was like, what is this game? Where did this game come from? Who taught you this game? And so, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, these people, they just constantly, no matter what, if there's a way to make a bunch of money, even if they already got millions of dollars, they're like 100%. I don't care. Yeah.
Well, also the personalities, when you get in the room with guys like Grant Cardone, you start looking down underneath your pants and go, is mine bigger than his? You know? So is my net worth more than his? And when you're in rooms with people that are all double your net worth, you're just competing. This is the psychological principle of comparison effect, where you only compare yourself against your peers. And when all your peers are doing twice as better than you are, it's no different than being poor.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. And everyone's in their own hustle and they're all just trying to do more. I think Bella Thorne is the same thing. At the end of the Donald Trump documentary, the guy from the New York Times is talking about how, like, we looked at his finances all the way through. He lost money. He should have just held the property that his dad gave him. He's talking about Donald Trump. But he's like, it's not about money. It's about, like, I want to be famous. I want to be on TV. I want a TV show. Like, that's the thing. But that's where Spencer, wow, dude, that's where your credibility, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm in the same boat. Like, to me, money doesn't matter. That's why I can talk about losing all my money openly. Like, it literally does not affect me at all because I'm in the game.
It's just about dick size to you.
No, not necessarily. All I'm saying is I love the game, the pursuit of winning the game and playing the game more than the dollar figures.
What is a bigger value for you than even your penis? I mean, is it ethics? There's got to be something bigger than winning the game.
For those guys, no.
No, for those guys, no. But for Spencer, an authentic or charlatan man, there's got to be something more, because if not, why wouldn't you just sell a course? That's how you get
I think what I care most about is freedom. First is control over multiple areas of life. So I want control of my time, control of how I spend my time, how I am able to attain wealth or income. I want to have control over that. And then I don't know. I don't really look ahead to the future. Like I never try to do these like 5 or 10 year goals. I don't really care. All I do is today I try to make the best decisions for my future tomorrow. And that's all I can operate. Everything changed when I lost all my money, man. I had plans of, I was doing 2 flips at a time. I just bought a 4-plex. I took on a property where I was cash flowing 1,200, the one I'm living in, 1,200 to 50. I mean, dude, I went from like 0 net worth to 250 in like a couple months, owned 4 or 5 properties. And so like that all, I was like, man, I'm a stud.
Of what lost you, what basically brought you down? I'd love to hear about this. By the way, before you get into that, Antonio Rios, what do you guys think about Ty Lopez? He can't be a guru because he buys big businesses like Pier 1. No, where do you think he got the money to buy Pier 1, genius? Okay.
You guys hear about that?
Yes, actually I did. Go.
We're going to disagree on Ty Lopez too. So that'll be a fun conversation.
Wow, so you like Ty Lopez because Ty Lopez is new business.
Let's get into that later. Spencer, I want to hear about how you lost your money though. Because I wanted people to know sort of what happened.
Yep. Yeah. I bought 2 houses in Cincinnati, Ohio. I hired 2 contractors. One was good, one wasn't. I was going through the flip. I'm making a long story very short. I was going through the first flip. I used a hard money lender to operate, to lend on the property. And you hire an inspector to go inspect to get draw money. So when you flip houses, you front the labor and materials, and then you get a draw. They check off line items, send you the money when items are complete. I had an inspector go to the property 8 times at $150 a pop. Each time the line items were checked. So to me, the property was rehabbed correctly and up to code, all that. I found out at the end after 8 months that the property was the worst rehab my agent had ever seen. And so it became it became a house of cards where I had to sell my 4-plex at a huge discount to get out. I had to sell my car. I haven't had a car in almost a year now. And so I didn't have money for shoes, dude. I had holes in my shoes walking 3 miles a day to my roommate's business so I can get a ride home. And I mean, I lost everything. This was recent. I escaped. Yeah. So I had a second flip going on. I escaped in May. I sold my second property in May.
Shoes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Escaped.
Yeah. I got out alive. Thankfully I was able to sell. And so that's basically what happened. It was a bad contractor, did wrong work. It took, I had to borrow money from my parents to then go and fix up the first property. I had to pull my contractor from my second one over to the first one. It was a level of stress that I can't even explain. I had I had 2 people on my property who I needed to evict that I didn't have the money to evict in my house. One was a former MMA fighter, professional heavyweight MMA fighter. Another got into physical altercations with his girlfriend. I had to call the cops on her, had to evict her. It was a period of my life that I had more stress that like nothing phases me now. Like I would need a death of my entire family tree to phase me at this point.
Jeez, Steven. Well, you got to put up a crying frog? No, that's rough,
this is a terrible story, dude. Think about what he's saying.
Terrible.
Think about what he's saying. He was rolling. He was rolling. And then all of a sudden, everything gets wiped out. I can't imagine your entire net worth that you've been building. Yeah. Spencer, you're a little bit older. You just turned 30, right? You just turned 30.
Yep, correct.
So you've been growing your empire since you were 20. When did you get into the game?
22, 23. What sucked is I've basically not succeeded at everything. And so this was my moment of success, right? I all of a sudden get 250K of equity in 4 properties. I had about a 50K profit expected on the 2 houses. And so I'm rolling, man. I'm going to turn these flip money into properties. And I was seeing myself. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I used to have these grand plans of in 5 years, I'll be here. In 5 years, I'll be this person. And when it all collapses, everything changes because I thought I made the right decisions at the time. I'm the kind of guy who spends a lot of time making decisions. So I felt like I made good decisions at the time, and everything changed what I felt like was out of my control or risks that I did not see. And so there's risks in my life right now that I cannot see. And therefore me trying to plan 5 years ahead, I don't think it really benefits anyone. I think there's a path to take. If you're looking at 3 rivers, put your boat in one of the rivers and just go, baby, go. And do your best each day to make the best decision you can for the next day. And you got to live with the decision. But life is so random that you can't possibly control the outcome. You can only make the best decision according to the data you have in your head at that moment, and you live with the results. That's it.
Interesting that you still kind of defend the business. Like do you not think there was anything predatory about the business, or do you think it's all just
absolutely not? I signed up. I knew what I was signing up for. I took the risk.
So you want to get back into it?
100%. Oh yeah. I can't wait, dude. I've been itching at the seam to get back.
Well, no, dude, that's why you're going to be a success at this, because the truth is when you look at the habits of most people and the life of most people who end up successful, most of them experience immense failure, points of incredible failure, self-doubt. And that's the thing. Like, that's, again, it comes back to just the idiocy of the narrative that gurus try to sell you, which is they try to sell you that their success went like this to success and that they're going to go like this for you. They're going to make it a smooth line to your success, and that's why you should pay them so much money. There's never been such a thing as a smooth line to success that was earned. Every single person who claws their way to the top stumbles, falls several times. Not one time, several times. You have big falls, you have little falls. Spencer, it sounds like you just went through a big fall, but that is okay, my friend.
Yeah.
And
people make billions in real estate. Every generation has new millionaires in real estate. Real estate will always have money in it. It's just how it's built. And there's always going to be like the next big real estate, like even locally, like all the small towns in Canada, there's not all, but like there's a bunch where there's like a guy who is like the real estate king. It's like, I'm the real estate king. And like his face on the billboard, and you go to his house for a party and you're like, you know what though? He's making money. And it's honest. He's got a family. He's making money. Like there's always going to be that kind of money in real estate, I think. So
100%. It's a fun game to play. I love the game, man. That's why I say I don't care about the money. I could lose money. I can go to zero every single day and I'm okay. I can live off rice and beans. I can live off protein shakes. I can live without a car. Dude, I can go to zero. I'm willing to go to zero every day.
That's it. Yeah, my family's lost so much money in real estate. Same things as you're talking about.
It's just the game you play. You know, it's what you sign up for.
It is very stressful too, though. It is stressful. Like I remember being like a teenager, my parents were trying to flip something, and then I tried to flip something at one point. It's crazy. It's not easy money. They all.
Did you just buy a bad deal? Is that why you lost money?
No, I fucked up. I would say totally I fucked up. Like we didn't know what we were doing. We just saw, I think, too many of these fucking get rich quick garbage, and we're like, oh yeah, it'll be easy. We'll just do whatever. It's like, look, if you're not doing the construction, if you're not doing the selling, like if you're giving a real estate agent 30, like the commission, are you really going to flip a property in 6 months? I don't know. It seems like a grind. You could do it. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you could do it. But I think buy and hold is the strategy more. Also, like if you're an agent, you're selling for other people too, maybe, you know, you get those REITs.
Flipping just carries a lot of, I mean, it's got the risk reward factor. I mean, it's just kind of a, you know, wouldn't you say, Spencer, than like holding a piece of real estate, just trying to rent it out? Would you say rental's more stable at least than a flip, where you can
this could be a 2-hour conversation?
Oh, okay. Hey, come
Everything's
on, Spencer.
nuanced to me, man.
Simplify it for us.
Okay, so it's hard to get a very quick answer out of me. So holding rental property holds its risk too. What if you bought a property, didn't do the proper inspection, and you get hit with a 27 grand sewer problem like I just did? Now you got a tenant that's not happy. They got to rip up the floors. You got to put them in a hotel. If you don't have reserves, you're in trouble. Whereas a flipping, if you've got a dad or an uncle that does the contract work, and you've got multiple exit strategies, flipping is incredibly risky.
I'd say you need a contract work, like you need at least the contract work or the real estate license, so you're not losing that ton of cash. But I'd say with buy and hold is definitely more stable though, Spencer. I mean, it's not like, because you could buy something that has a steady income going in, and of course you do the inspection, and there's always a risk. There's a risk in everything. But I've seen real estate where it's like, okay, every month you're taking home $500 on top of paying whatever. So there's even a positive cash flow, especially when you get into like 5-6 units.
Yeah.
So there's like a positive cash flow.
You're definitely correct. You're definitely correct. It's definitely more stable, no doubt.
Yeah, and like those things are tough, like to predict. Yeah, it happens. Like a roof. Roof is another one, man. Like a bad storm, even. I've seen bad storms and people got to be like, okay, $30,000.
Yeah, Cincinnati, you deal with weather problems that you don't experience in, say, Vegas or Texas.
Yeah, California.
You also, with a lot of I took on 2 gut jobs. So I did 2 full rehabs. And when you start opening up walls in the Midwest, these homes were built 100 years ago. And so it's a can of worms, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
you don't want to do
what
that. Sometimes it's better not to know what the problems are in there, because once you know, now you're sort of liable for the knowledge. Now,
yes.